you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. You're listening to us on the Broadway Podcast Network or watching us on Broadway World, on social media. Roberto, firstly, Greenroom 42 is one of my favorite places in the world to see a show. I like the artisan pizza. I love a little drink. And then you have a little rooftop moment after the show. There's not a bad seat in the house. It's redone. The sound is great. The lighting is great. Everything is perfect. And a return encore performance right here. And why is Roberto on the screen? Because he says his last name right. And this New Jersey accent from this little Italian-Irish guy is going to butcher it. So Roberto
Araujo
is here. Yes. See, it sounds so much better from your mouth.
Thank you, Robert. I really appreciate you having me.
Roberto, Friday, September 20th. Okay.
Yes.
Is what you need. I just wanted you to know is the show. And he stole my music director, Yasuhiko Fukuoka. How dare you, Roberto?
Isn't he incredible?
He is the most brilliant. Look, Roberto, I'm sure you have a classy show that you sing classy songs. And I have a trashy show where I sing trashy diva music. And I bring all this mess to Yaz's house. And I say, do something with this. And he does it.
And not only is he brilliant, but he is the nicest guy.
He is
which is what makes it, it's such a pleasure to collaborate with him. It's truly like, I want to just hang out with you,
Sam, I just want to go there to hug his baby. I just want to be there with Axel, and I just want to sing music. And Yaz sits down at the piano, and he's just brilliant. So I already know you have quite the band. You have quite the music because you have Yaz. So what is this show about? What are we going to see?
So I just wanted you to know it's a little autobiographical show. The way that I structured it, I didn't want to just sing a song of like, I moved to New York, I did shows, and these are the songs from the shows that I've done. Because I feel like when I'm asking an audience to come in and pay a ticket and order the artisan pizza and have a drink, you have to deliver, and I want to deliver something for them that is a little bit more elevated and thoughtful. So I put together this show with songs that I really connect with. We wrote a script and made sure to tell a story that is truthful. I have an amazing director. Her name is Mónica Huarte. She really pushed me. Every rehearsal was like a therapy session, because she's like, I don't think that song is connecting. Why isn't it connecting? Why do you like singing it? And we really dug and dug, because when I first built the show, I was just choosing songs that I like to sing, but like finding why am I connecting with the song was the exciting and challenging part. But it was such a fun process. And again, collaborating with people like Monica or like Yas, it was really fulfilling. And I'm happy to bring it back to the Greenroom and revisit the material. I did it back in November. And so the show has now lived with me for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So you did it almost a year ago.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, you can go to greenroom42.com and you can get your tickets. It's a Friday night, so there's no excuse about being a school night.
7 p.m. You'll be out of there, 8:30, 8:45 the latest.
Yes, it's perfect. The press release gives a little bit of a hint about songs like Stephen Sondheim, David Yazbek's. Like you're going to hit us with some of the best songwriting that has ever been.
Yes. I, again, connecting with these songs was very important for me. And the name of the show comes from one of my favorite composers, which is Stephen Lutvak, who sadly passed away last year. And his music has always been so inspiring. And I've always, he has an album that he released in the early 2000s. And literally every song talks about growing up and discovering yourself and what you leave behind and how you move forward and looking back at what you've done. And I guess I'm very nostalgic because all of his songs are so meaningful to me, and that's why I always try to include something from his material. Yes, but so Stephen Lutvak and David Yazbek as well. He's someone who really captures the essence of a show and an emotion, and sometimes even the country. Like, listen to the cast recording of Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, and that I've always loved the movie, and I love Almodovar, but his work really sounds like Spain. Sounds like it's wonderful what he does. And what can I say about Stephen Sondheim? It's just, his material is forever giving us so much meat as an actor, and you listen to a song, when you're 16, and it means something completely different 15 years later, and you're understanding things at a different level. So I think that's a little bit what's happening even a year later. When I did it back in November and doing it now, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm finding more meaning in these songs now that this show has lived with me for almost a year.
Well, reading about you and your journey, you're from Mexico City.
Born and raised.
Born and raised in Mexico City. And then I'm assuming you come to the United States. And in Mexico and the United States, you did Rent and Guys and Dolls and Cats and Buddy Holly Story and Xanadu and Les Mis and In the Heights. And you do all of this musical theater.
Yes.
And you come to New York, and then you somehow, because we can follow you on Instagram, and if you want to follow it, it's his name with photography at the end. I won't say his last name because he says it better than me. Roberto Araujo. Nope. So when you, I was close. I got scared though. I got so scared.
I felt it. I was with you.
When did you're an artist within multi different ways. I mean, we all watch you. We watched your work on New York One. Hey, Frank Delella and everybody over there on stage. My dream is to be the next Frank. That's my lifelong goal, Roberto. Why did he get that job before me? How dare he?
I'll keep you on the list. List.
Thank you so much. I'm out here trying to do my impersonation of what you all do on stage in New York One. So, and I told him that myself. What do you consider are you a photographer? Are you a singer? Are you a musical theater actor? Are you just whatever you want to be?
Well, without giving too much away, that's a little bit the origin of the show, right? Asking, who am I? For 20 years, I was a full-time actor. So there's many people who know me as an actor. They know me as Bobby. My actor friends know me as Bobby. So I'm Bobby the actor. And then I went to China with the Tour of Fame. It was an incredible cast. Our leading lady was Caroline Bowman. Oh. And it was choreographed by Josh Bergas. Like, it was a great little experience. But when I went to China, my parents gave me my first digital camera, and I'd always been interested in lighting and photography and video editing. So that's when I first, threw myself into the art of photography. And when you're working with a bunch of actors, with a company of 30 actors who are always willing to be photographed, you have lots of room to play. So that's when I first started photography, and it really took off. It was a little before social media was really a thing. And it helped me a lot as well, like being on social media. I had a couple of solo exhibits here in New York. I entered a contest, and one of my pieces was exhibited at the Louvre in an photography exhibit that they did there. So it was very fulfilling. And then I was freelancing for Playbill when they offered me to take over the video department. And so then I was at Playbill as the director of video production for 5 years. And then On Stage came along, and now I am on stage. And it's what I try to do is allow each part of my life to complement and inform the other, so I can live a full life,
Well, it's beautiful. I'm saying this, I'm not saying you feel this way, but as an actor myself and as a singer, I doing stuff like this, or like when you're doing On Stage, or when you're at Playbill doing red carpets and videos and all of that stuff, for me, I had never felt right always as an actor. I knew there was more to acting, and people think like photography, or hosting something or doing something is just like easy, or it's like if you didn't. No, it's not. It is not. It is not as easy as it looks, and but I still get to be a part of it, being an artist, and get to do all of my art. But I get to use a skill set that feels good for me. I'm sure when you have that camera in your hand, or when you're on stage singing, it's the same fulfillment either way.
Yes, and like I said, like video editing, like my musicality informs how I'm telling the story and how I'm editing, and it just it gives it a deeper understanding onto all the different things that I delve into.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you follow, everyone go follow on Instagram, and you can see there's a whole bunch of Broadway superstars that he's photographed and takes pictures of, and has beautiful work up there as well. When your journey, your heritage, and your story about coming here, is that something that's important in the show and important in your life? Do you address it in the show?
Yes, I do. I again, without giving too much away, I came here 24 years ago. I was 4. I was not.
Me too.
Yeah, 24 years ago. To the adventure of like, ooh, what's gonna happen? I didn't come here very prepared, as in something drove me away from Mexico.
Okay.
So I decided to leave, and I truly was here. Like, I slept on the street a couple of nights, kind of thing. But I guess things worked out at the end.
They sure did. They sure did. And you can hear all of this great stuff and all of these stories on Friday, as we get going to the Green Room 42, and we're gonna talk more about it in a minute. But it's the 20th, and I want you to make sure you can get your tickets at greenroom42.com before they're gone, and see the show. You had another show that you did at Green Room 42, I Dream in Spanish.
Do you dream in Spanish?
Do you dream? And
yes.
I do not, Roberto, because I regret never taking Spanish in school. I took Italian because I thought, like, my family's Italian, I'm going to take Italian.
Right.
Man, that was a mistake. So the answer I have is no. But do you find that speaking Spanish and speaking English, so do you dream in Spanish?
It's interesting. I don't. But the funny part is my parents don't speak English. They speak very, 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 very little English. But in my dreams, at some point, they started talking in English. So it kind of coincided when the time when I kind of like we reconciled.
Oh, wow.
And one can say we started speaking the same language, and like a little bit kind of like started seeing eye to eye,
I understand. Oh, that's beautiful and so deep. And the story, I'm sure a lot of people also can relate to, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. Do you find that telling the truth on, like, I do cabaret too, like we said, like, and as you do, and obviously, because that's why you're here. And it's very hard. It's vulnerable. You share. It's not just a concert where you sing 10, 11, 12, 8, whatever, however many songs, and then you walk off the stage and take a bow. It's a story, and you are sharing pieces of your. So what gives you the courage to get up there and tell these personal stories?
I think part of it is people not knowing what to do with me. Like, wait, are you an actor? Are you a photographer? Are you a video producer? What are you? And I just wanted you to know who I am. Like it's trying to tell my story, in trying to sort of legitimize everything that I do. Like, everything has value, and I'm not less of a performer because I also do photography and so on and so forth. Like it all has value in the truth that I bring to it, and the how it informs my life.
That's so beautiful, and I relate to that so deeply. For so many years, I thought that being a teacher meant I wasn't a successful artist, or I wasn't a real artist, and I think that we put so much pressure on ourselves, and that's so unfair and such a disservice.
And I feel like as great as social media is, the fact that we're being bombarded with first day of school, or I'm walking to rehearsal constantly, it kind of makes you wake up at 3 a.m. and say, wait, have I not done it? Like, what am I doing wrong? And I feel like being able to say, you know what, like, this is my journey, and and am I happy with my journey? Like, what do I need to do to achieve feeling happy and complete? And it's might not be the same as what other people have to do and are going through, and also we don't know what they're going through either,
Right.
because sometimes it's a little bit just for show.
Absolutely. It's the highlight reel, but we don't know the reality. So we got to remember, someone once taught me, keep my eyes on my own paper. And that's what's been happening. And there's enough work and success for everybody. So if Roberto's out here booking gigs and going to Emmy Awards, then good for you, Roberto, because there's room for me there too.
Exactly.
So you are a Bistro, speaking of awards, you are a Bistro Award winner. Can you tell us about what, how, what, when, where, why?
Well, super honored to, again, all these things live in your head, right? Like, this show, I rehearsed it for months, and then I did it once, and you don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if people are gonna laugh at, or what they're gonna laugh at, and what's gonna land, or what's gonna make people cry. So there was a reviewer in the audience, Jerry Geddes from the Bistro Awards, and he gave me a lovely, 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 glowing review that was so satisfying, because again, you're here trying to, like, believe in this thing, and I have no delusions of grandeur that this is going to transfer to an intimate Broadway house, but I feel like there's something to it. There's meat to it, right? And again, just all the work. It's so much work. There's a multimedia element to my show. There's like videos that complete the story. So then they told me at the end of last year that in February I was going to receive the Bistro Award for Outstanding Autobiographical Show, and it was truly an honor. It just meant so much to me, just because it's so personal, and also I dedicate the show to Stephen Lutvak. So that award is also like my tribute to his work.
That is so beautiful. Listen, everybody, the Bistro, the reviewers from the Bistro and the awards, they do not. It's not a place that just gives good reviews for fun. They are truthful. You can look at some of mine.
Exactly, and it's interesting because I recently, I was going through my own doubts and my own vampires in my head telling me, like, is this review like truthful? Like, do they give great reviews to everyone? So I went back in the archive and I was like, oh no, like because Cabaret is such a specific thing, and we can all fall into the same tropes of like I was saying, I came to New York to be an actor, Broadway, baby.
Yep.
I mean, like, it's like we've done it, like we've seen that show.
Yep.
And that's another hard part of when you're trying to promote your show. Like, what are you selling? Like, is this going to be the same show that I saw last week with my other friend who told the story of how he got to New York? And like, it's that, I think that's the difficult part. So yeah, the Bistro Awards really, really put their brains into analyzing what is on the stage.
Well, you are at a great place to see a show. You have a great team behind you. When you see Yaz, when you go to rehearsal, you have to tell him I said hello, that I miss him.
Well,
because I will be back doing shows in December, but I moved to Detroit, and Yaz was so sad the last time I saw Yaz, because he was like, "Will I see you again?" I'm not stopping doing shows, Yaz. We are gonna keep going.
Good.
We're gonna keep going, Roberto. I'm excited. I want to be able to support. I want people to support. I want people to know that if you're looking for a fun night out in New York City, then the Greenroom 42 on September 20th is the place to be. You never know.
Not only in New York City, but also you can live stream it from wherever you are.
I have right here.
Yeah, my husband is Australian, so a bunch of his friends they did a whole brunch last time I did it, a brunch situation because they're like 12 hours ahead. So they had brunch and they watched my show, and they had a great time. So you can also live stream it.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Please.
When did you get married?
I got married in 2018, February of 2018.
Okay. February of 2018. Did you have a big wedding, a little wedding? Was it a ceremony?
It was a little wedding. We didn't want to have a big thing. We were just going to go to City Hall and do that. But then we're like, you know what? We've been together at that point, we had been together for 15 years. So we kind of wanted to do something bigger. So we rented a house and we had some friends over, and 30 people, like super tiny. But yeah, we've been together for 21 years and married since 2018.
Well, I ask you that because I get married in May. I get
Congrats.
Thank you. And
big
it's been
wedding, little wedding.
It's a Jersey wedding. So
okay.
I'm from New Jersey. He's from Detroit. I moved to Detroit, but I get a Jersey wedding.
Okay.
And it's been a journey because I'm very grateful to my own family and everybody, because for a lot of people, it's like, I've never been to a gay wedding, or people ask you funny questions like, who asked who, and who do you know proposes, and who do you wear a ring? Like, everybody asks all these questions that I'm so curious to hear other people's experiences like yours, because we've created our own and you've created yours, and we all are doing our own thing.
Yeah, we certainly did. And we did it in a month, because again, we weren't going to do anything. And then we were like, you know what, let's do it. And we made our own rules. And actually, when we were hiring like our caterer, we didn't say it was a wedding, because also the wedding tax, but it was just a celebration at the end of the day. You know, it wasn't anything. It was more celebrating the time that we'd been together than the start of a new life, you know?
Yes. Well, congrats on that. All the 20 plus years that you guys are together is beautiful.
Yeah.
and I'm excited to follow your footsteps. You people, I'm in awe, and I love so much, so it makes me smile. And I'm excited to follow you for your photography. So make sure you follow that, and also for the shows, so you can follow all the information. You can watch him on NY1 if you have whatever channel you have, whatever cable you have, or online, because don't be a cable cutter. He needs to work, and we need to get work. And then go to Greenroom 42, September 20th. It's such an honor at 7 o'clock. Make sure you get your tickets to go see it. And no matter where you are in the world, check it out and see the show. Yes, I'm so grateful to have met you and to have spent time with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I really appreciate you doing this, and this chat has been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be following. We'll be trying to steal a Bistro Award from you next year. We're coming for you, Roberto.
Mm.
Thank you so much.